Do you feel like you have to do things? Which one of us doesn't, right? I have to go to work. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to. How about thinking of it as if you get to? Let's put a different perspective on it, and I'll show you how. I'll show you what the difference is. What is it that you have to do? I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to go to work. I have to pick up the kids. I have to. What if you are so lucky to get to? It's just about changing the perspective to find a different way to make those have-tos that you do in your life get-tos, and feeling lucky to even be able to do them. So really think about it. How many people are actually looking for a job and wish that they have to go to work? Wish that they have to get in their car and drive however long it takes to get there? Wish that they had the opportunity to do this or that? How many people wish that they had to go to work? There's a lot of people who are looking for jobs and it's not so easy to get, right? So instead of saying have to go to work, say, I get to go to work, even if it's not the work that you absolutely love, even if it's not the one that you wanted, even if it's not your life purpose, even if it's not your favorite job in the world. You get to go to work. You get to have a job when other people don't. And by getting to have this work, then you have the chance to put food on your table. You get to have a chance to put your kids in piano lessons or whatever it is that you want to have your kids, whatever opportunities you want them to have. If you think of, I get to go to work so that I can have money to do some of the things that I want to do. Think about it this way, and then those have-tos will be a little bit more bearable, a little bit more acceptable in your life, and not just be such a task that you wish that you didn't have to do. Instead, think of yourself as lucky to get to do that. And what if I have to pick up the kids after school all the time, or I have to do this for the kids, or I have to make food for the family? I have to. How many people wish that they had a family? How many people wish that they even had kids? How many people wish that they could drive their kid to school? There's a lot. There's a lot of people who wish that they had these things that you find that you have to do. But if you look at it in a different way, I get to be in service to my kids. I get to have the love of having what having kids is like when they respond with love. I get to have this. See the difference? It's so much better when you look at it as I get to. I used to always be thinking, oh, I have to do so much work. I have to run these businesses. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to fix the website. I have to fix the database. I have to do this. I have to answer all these emails. I have to answer phone calls. I have to make business deals. I have to figure out how the business is. And I was wishing that I didn't have to do all that, but then I was realizing, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. I'm lucky to have a business that's working, that's successful. In fact, my business says I have more than one. University of Metaphysical Sciences and Gaia Sagrada Retreat Center. They're both very successful. They're very, very busy. They're well attended. Our retreats are always full. The school has a lot of students all over the world, 127 countries. And yes, that does mean I have to work more than 8 hours a day doing things that maybe I wish I didn't have to do, like balancing checkbooks and getting stuff ready for the accountant, preparing taxes and things like that. Sure, I wish I didn't have to do all that, but in order to have a business and to have this mission being manifest that's in the world, I have to do certain things, Or shall we say, I get to do certain things that I wouldn't get to do otherwise if my life mission wasn't actually in the world. So I get to balance the checkbook. I get to prepare the taxes because I have something to report. I get to make some business deals. I get to fix the website because the website, I'm lucky I even have one. Actually, I'm trying to get them better, so it's taking a lot of work to get them into the 21st century because some of them are not even mobile responsive right now. So this is what I mean though. If you think of have to and change it to I get to, this changes everything. This changes the whole feeling. I get to do this. I have to exercise so that I don't get too heavy, or I don't not feel well, or I can feel well. I get to exercise because I have to confess, exercise is not my favorite thing, and I'm like, oh God, I have to exercise. Oh, I have to. I just don't have the body type that can be without exercise. I just didn't get lucky this time around with the body in this lifetime as far as not having to exercise to keep it thin. And so I get to exercise. I have the legs that can exercise, that can walk, that can run, that can bend. I get to lift weights. I have the strength and the ability. I have the health to actually exercise. So some people wish that they had the health to do the exercise that most of us can do. So count yourself lucky that you get to exercise, that you get to go to work, that you get to pick up the kids, that you get to make food. How many people wish that they had to make the dinner? How many people wish that they had enough food to feed their families with and had good food? You get to be creative with the food. Get creative with these things you have to do. When you have to drive to work, or you get to drive to work, listen to some good podcasts. I got one, so maybe check mine out. Some other people have good podcasts. You can listen to podcasts on just about anything. For instance, now the cars have these built-in button things that you can press, and then that way you can talk on the phone without getting in trouble, because you're not supposed to be on your phone while you're in the car. And so you get to talk to someone who you love, who you wouldn't have time for otherwise to call while you're on your way to work. You get to pick up the kids. Maybe find a way to make it interesting. You do something on the way to work. Maybe sing a song. Listen to some song that you want to learn. Maybe learn a new method of some sort by listening to some directions, or a self-help thing. Do an exercise while you're on the way. When you're making dinner, play some nice music, get creative with the vegetables and the fruits and all that stuff. Well, veggies, I guess, for dinner. But when you do it, get creative and think, I get to. I'm so lucky to. I'm so happy that I have this in my life and that this is possible for me at this time. It's all in how you look at it. It's all a change in perspective. And changing your perspective, things can still be the same, but when you change the perspective, it all changes. For instance, there's a story about enlightenment, about a guy who was walking through the desert and suffering and suffering and suffering and suffering, looking for this thing called enlightenment. It was supposed to be here somewhere, and then saw in the distance enlightenment, a building that said enlightenment at the top, and there was a door, and trudged and sweating, and the desert and the heat and the dryness and the desolate nature of the desert. Desolate nature of the desert. And he walked in the gate of the door, went through the door, And there was nothing on the other side. It wasn't a whole different place. It wasn't like a utopian paradise on the other side. There was nothing but more desert. However, passing through the gate, passing through this doorway, changed his perspective of the desert. And then the desert was beautiful. It was exquisite. It was extraordinary. It was a place of silence and a place of peace. And so it's all in your perspective about how you look at things. If you want to change your perspective, say, I get to, instead of I have to.